Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Ben, and welcome to another Godot tutorial video. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to set up function chaining on your own objects. Now, what is function chaining? Right here, I have an example. We're using the create tween function to create a new tween object, and I'm tweening the modulate property on that object. Just going to comment this out real quick to make it switch between black and white here. Now, white in modulate just displays the icon as it is, but you can see that it's switching, and I'm chaining a few different functions here after this create tween. So we have set ease, so we're doing ease in and out. We have set trans, and we're doing quad, trans quad, and then I also have set loops to make it repeat infinitely. Now, the benefit of being able to chain functions like this is that these properties, I want to set them once on this object, and then I don't want to mess with them anymore, right? And we're able to chain them together using these little dots like this. So this is a common, well, I wouldn't say it's super common, but this is a programming pattern that often comes up inside of GDScript, inside of Godot's programming language. Now I'm going to show you I'm going to show you how you can use it with your own objects. Okay, so I have this mover object. I'm going to open up the script for it. I give it a class name, class mover. It extends ref counted, which is just the most basic object that you can have while still having automatic garbage collection. And I have this move function. And this move function takes an actor, which has to be at least a node 2D so that it has a position that we can change. It takes a velocity, and then it takes delta. And using this, inside of my world script, I've created a new mover, right? And I am using that mover to move the icon to the right. Okay, and we can watch this play out right here. But we have to pass in the actor that we want to act upon. We have to pass that into our mover every single frame. And we start to get a lot of extra arguments here inside of the function call. So the benefit of function chaining here is that we can reduce some of the arguments that we have to pass into this. Just like up here when we're tweening this property, we don't have to pass in the easing or the transition or whether or not it loops. We can set all of those on the tween initially, and then they can just stay the way that we set them. So we're going to come into our mover, and we're going to create a new property. So we're going to create var actor, and it needs to be a node 2D at least. And we want to create a setter for this. Now you can create inline setters like this, but we're not going to do this. And the reason we're not going to do this is because you can't choose the return value on an inline setter. So we need to create our own function for the setter. We can't do it inline. We'll say set actor like this. It can be value. It needs to be at least a node 2D. And then we want to set the return type on this function. Now this is the key in order to set up function chaining. The return type has to be the same type as the object. So our class name is mover. We want to set the return type to mover. Once we do that, we can say actor equals value, and then we can return self. So we know the return type is mover, and we're going to return this object, the object that is calling this set actor function. Then we need to actually add the setter to our property here. So set equals set actor. I just make sure that Godot knows we want it to call this function whenever we change the actor. Okay, now when we come down into our move function, we can take out the actor right here, and we're left with only the velocity and delta. And then we can just use the actor that we're setting up here. So we'll save this. We'll come into world. Now we can use function chaining. So we got to remove icon from here. No longer takes that argument. Move just takes a velocity and a delta now. But we can set the actor on our mover, the thing that our mover will act upon. And we can do that up here by saying dot set actor and then passing in icon. Now it's important to note here that I have this in an onReady var, and it's after, I'm setting it up after icon here. So ordering here matters. If this is just a variable, icon wouldn't be set to anything yet because it's set in ready, right? So we need them both to be onReady variables. But if we do that, then we can set actor right here and we can chain the function into our mover. Then we can run and we can see that that still works. We could pass in left here if we wanted, and we can easily create different objects and like this mover object, and we can set certain properties on them and chain them together up here at the top. Now, I personally like this approach because it is done in code. Now, you can do this using export variables on objects that are nodes in your scene. I could create a node that is a mover and give it an export variable of an actor that it would act upon, and I wouldn't have to worry about function chaining. But that's just a different approach to the same thing. I like to do it in code. I like to set it up right here. This is my personal preference. And I also use this system for states. So if I create a new state like a character jump state dot new, then I would do dot set actor, and I would set the actor that the state is attached to, the state for that actor. So that is how you use function chaining. The key principle here is just to make sure that your setter, or whatever function you're doing, because it doesn't have to be a setter, it could be a different function, returns the same type as the class that it's in, and you return self, and that will allow you to chain functions together like this. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, this quick little tutorial, and learned something from it. If you did, please like the video, comment down below if you have any questions for me. If you're interested in more of my Godot content, I do have some courses on my website, both a beginner 1-bit Godot course, and then I recently released an intermediate action RPG course. So you can check those out, and you can also check out my other videos here on YouTube. They are all completely free. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.